All right, folks. How about something else different? Had this game for a long time. Thought I'd pull it out. Is to fill in my step away from OCS time, which I'm grinding out. Operation Typhoon by SPI. Right. This is the assault on Moscow in '41. All right. When was this one made? 19. No, come on. You have to dig it up. When was this one made? We know it's old. It's 1978. I guess this is one of the SPI, considered one of the SPI monster games. It's the full game's a 3-mapper. Had this a long time. Never really got to play it. I think I might have set it up once or twice, but while I was in the military and just ended up having to take it down and not getting a chance to play it. Got time now. Thought I'd play the PanzerGruppe Guderian Scenario. Which, they make a individual game for that called PanzerGruppe Guderian, but I thought that was the Smolensk fight. So this one here is out in front of Moscow. Tula is the only major city, I think, on this map, and that's sitting right here somewhere. There it is. All right. Okay, so this is a one-of-a-kind game. If there's another one out there like this, I don't know. When I look at these sheets here, the charts, it reminds me of the Vakdam Rhine games. The Vakdam Rhine game from SPI, the big old massive fold-out sheets. And you gotta love these things because they put everything you need pretty much chart-wise and record track and results tables and stuff right there on the sheet. You got the German one, and you got the Soviet one. You got your weather, whether it's snowing or not, what the ground condition is. You got air unit table or boxes. You've got the German support status. Support in this game this makes this interesting because, so in this battle, I have 3 corps for the Germans, and I think 2 for the Soviets. So the Germans get these things called support points. Now for this scenario, they get 3. And every 4th turn, starting with turn 1, and then every 4th turn, they have to roll to see how many of those support points get affected. So the Germans, in order to have all 3 of their corps supported, they would have to roll a 1 or a 2. There's modifiers right there. And they do get, and it starts to get worse for them because you want to roll low. It starts to get worse for them as the game goes on. And what that support means is, okay, so I've got 2 for the first 4 turns. So I place support for the 24th Panzer and the 53rd. I guess that's infantry. That's over here on the southern flank. All right. And I did not give it to who is this? The 43rd over here. So all those units you see, the supply in this game for the Germans is 6 hexes from a unit to a headquarters, and then from the headquarters to a supply source of 6 hexes, which is a road that leads off the west edge that's not cut off. However, in the rules, even if a unit can trace its 6 hexes to its headquarters, and the headquarters can trace 6 hexes to a road or supply source, if they're not supported, those units are listed as out of supply. Now, I don't necessarily think that, like most games we play that are out of supply, that it has the same effect. It does reduce things for them, makes them weaker. So, different approach. I don't know. Some games are the same way. You get out of supply, maybe their movement's cut in half. And this one's kind of similar to that, but I don't know if I've ever seen a game where even if a unit can trace supply and its headquarters can trace supply, just because it's unsupported, it's out of supply, which I guess could represent the supply situation of the Germans and how poor it was, especially towards the end of 41. Seemed like every offensive the Germans went into, supply was minimal after the first few months of a campaign, or first few weeks or whatever. I guess they did the best with what they had. Now the Soviet supply, theirs a little different. They can trace any distance to a headquarters, or to their headquarters, or they can trace 3 hexes to a city, or there was something, or supply, or a map, the map road going off the map edge. So most of these units are the Soviets are probably gonna be in supply unless you encircle them. All right. I've got interdiction markers out because there was a phase. The Germans get 2 a turn. I'm sure that only has to do with rail because that's the only place you can put them is on rail hexes. So I really haven't read the rules because I haven't done any rail movement. Maybe it blocks supply too, but I'll read. That's just a simple short rule. All right, so the objectives you see are marked on the map. All right, Tula is the big one. You got to take Tula. And then there's a certain number of these you got to take down in these hexes. Mikhailov and Venev, Mordova, and then whatever that town is, Kashira, and then Zayskova. And then from where that one is on the edge of the map all the way down is the exit hex. So that's where they would turn and then drive north towards Moscow. Okay? So there's not a big coverage of counters, and there's none of this zone of control bonding. Just, zone of control is all 6 surrounding hexes. Terrain doesn't matter. All right? Now, here's the most unique part of this game. The units on one side, they will have their you have classes. You have A, B, and a C class. C is your tanks. A is your grunts, I guess. B is your, I don't know. They're maybe mechanized infantry or something like that. And then they have a morale. All right, so these little battalions here, you see those little tank battalions? That is their strength and their movement. They are what they are that you see on the counter, okay? You get combined arms bonus. You get divisional integrity bonuses for the Germans. The Soviets and the Germans also get the combined arms bonus. A little harder for the Soviets to get. And on the defense, if you get a combined arms bonus, all it does is cancel any combined arms bonus the attacker would get. Now, combined arms bonus for the attacker is not just one. If you have, like, say, 3 stacks that are attacking the same unit, and all 3 of those stacks, each one of them individually has a combined arms bonus, that's 3 column shifts. But if that defender has one combined arms bonus, it cancels all of them. And then divisional integrity for the Germans, if you have, so Germans can stack 3 units, but only 2 can attack of their full size units. The armor battalions, they can attack regardless. So, if you have three units in a stack, 2 of them are regiments, and one's one of these little tank battalions, all 3 units can attack. So, these 2 infantry regiments, mechanized infantry regiments, if they attack the same hex, they're going to get the divisional integrity, combat integrity, whatever, divisional integrity, which is a 1 column shift. And you can get multiple of those. I think it's up to 2 or 3. I have to read it. It's up to 2 or 3. I can't remember. So, if you had multiple regiments attacking, and they each stack had the divisional integrity, you'd get that column shift for each one. Okay, a lot of games have that. It's once you learn what the system is for that, it's pretty simple. Now, here is the most unique part of this game that I've never seen in another game. So you see those 2 mech regiments right there. They have A, 3, 14. Okay, so A is their class, 3 is their morale, 14 is their movement. They don't have a strength. Well, here's how this game works on these types of units. The first time you move into combat, you take that morale rating and you reach into you go to a special counter they have that are rated with morale. So there is a 3 morale chip, and we'll put it up here, that matches that 3 morale unit. All right, so he's an A class. You put this chip under. Now, this is its full strength side. It's like step 1, and there's like step 2, okay? You put that under. So now this unit's strength is 4. He's an A class unit with a 3 morale. The strength chit is 3 morale. You choose the A letter, and the number to the right is its strength. And that's how this works. Now, a lot of people are going to say, and you don't put that up there until they do their first combat. I think it's a great fog of war system. A lot of people are going to say, well, that's not right. Come on, units had to set strength before, come on, the commanders knew what they had. Well, I tell you what this does. This produces another level of fog of war because there was a lot of confusion amongst the units during any of the East Front scenarios. Maybe not Barbarossa right off the bat, but as the campaign in Russia progressed, it got confusing, intermixing and stuff like that, and maybe false reporting or not accurate reporting of their strengths and stuff like that. And the fact that these attacks went in kind of hasty, and most of the units weren't quite organized as efficiently as they probably were for Barbarossa. Because remember, Hitler was always pushing, let's go, let's go, let's go, okay? So I think that's awesome because you'll randomly draw those chips. Now, the Soviets have morale 1, 2, and 3. The Germans have morale 2 and 3. So, but don't let that fool you because those two Soviet units right there, they both drew chips where their strengths are 1. So these guys were 12. So, I mean, when it was done and over, you had a 6-to-1 attack. Well, as you can see, those Germans, they've attacked and they were pushed back. So you get modifiers, you get column shifts depending on, like, say, your bonus is, but there's not really any terrain shifts like you have in most games or modifiers. The combat chart, kind of like an OCS really, is set up like that. So you choose your terrain and then you use that column. All right. All right. The combat chart's pretty simple. The number in parentheses are mandatory losses. The number not in parentheses is the number of hexes to retreat. Okay. And that's pretty much, that's it. I mean, that's it. There's nothing else. That's how it works across the board. All right, so my intention with this one is to, once you put those markers, those chits under those units, they don't get to draw again. So they start with their full strength. If they lose a step, you flip that chit over to its backside. If they lose again, then you flip the unit over and remove the strength chit, and now that becomes their strength, just like a battalion unit, okay? And then once they lose that, they're eliminated. You don't have like replacement of units and stuff like that. You get reinforcements, but I don't see any replacement type tables. That's another thing too. The reinforcement schedules are on their chart here. All right. So the only thing now after the first turn that I don't like is just like say I could say I don't like it is the spread of units because there's not, you're used to playing games where there's a lot more units when you're playing at this scale. But I'm going to play this out because we'll see, the Soviets obviously get more reinforcements than the Germans do. But, I mean, if you told me right now, initially playing this game, the Germans are just going to roll right around this right side and they're going to just head on to Moscow. But I haven't eliminated any units in combat, and I did 3 combats. They took a step loss or they retreated. And the Germans actually, I think, took a step. No, they won these 2 over here. So this is another one of those games where the Soviets need to set up just a zone of control screen. It'd be nice if they could hang on to Tula, but I think Tula eventually will get encircled if not. So it's going to be one of these like swinging gate things to keep the Germans from exiting off that map and taking so many objectives. All right, 1 turn, pretty simple. It's another one of those games where the movement and the combat's not the hard part. It's just checking your, actually checking supplies not that hard, especially for the Soviets. Really not really that difficult to play. And the fact that it's a monster game, a lot of people talk about they'd love to have a simple to play really, really big game. Well, this one from the 70s, this was classified as a monster game and it seems to be pretty simple. I kind of wish I had all 3 set up, but I didn't want to tie up the table for any long period of time. I got all these OCS games I want to play. So, all right. So anyhow, this is Operation Typhoon, SPI 1978. This is the German assault on Moscow in 1941, and we'll keep you updated with this as this goes. Like I say, this is filler time play, and I've got my Civil War one over there. I'm probably going to play a little bit of that today, of the first battle of Winchester, and of course OCS, the Tunisia. I'm going to play some more of that today, amidst watching the Masters. I'm sure a lot of you all are. All right, the routine. Hey, if you like it, give it a thumbs up. You want to see more, subscribe. You want to keep up to date, hit that notify bell. That way you can see whenever I shoot a new video. All right, we'll talk to y'all later.